January 9th, 2026. Belarus is battling a freezing winter crisis brought on by the Ulli storm. Heavy snowfall, strong winds, and freezing temperatures, which intensified significantly on Friday, have virtually halted transportation across the country. The storm's force has pushed not only roads, but also the energy infrastructure to its limits, seriously disrupting daily life in many areas. As winter shows its harsh face, the effects of the freezing conditions and the chaos caused by the storm continue to be felt across the country. And roads quickly became impassable. Authorities confirmed that more than 250 settlements experienced power outages due to the freezing cold, as severe weather conditions brought transportation to a standstill in both rural and urban areas. Rescue teams began working around the clock. Responding to dozens of vehicles stranded on the roads, the teams managed to tow more than 40 vehicles to safe areas in just a few hours. The harsh conditions brought by the storm became even more dangerous due to the risky decisions made by some drivers. Near the village of Stashino, 3 vehicles, acting on the idea of taking a shortcut or relying on luck, got stuck in the middle of a snow-covered field at the same time. This incident once again demonstrated how serious the consequences of such attempts. In the capital Minsk, snowfall also intensified significantly on Friday. In some areas, the snow depth rose to the trunk level of parked vehicles. Many cars were almost completely buried under the snow. Images from around Zdanovichi and the Cultural Institute clearly show that the situation in the capital has now gone far beyond the usual winter conditions. The situation in Minsk was particularly challenging for public transport. Trolleybuses and buses stuck on the roads had great difficulty moving forward. At that very moment, a wonderful example of solidarity was displayed across the capital. Police teams and citizens joined hands to push the vehicles and reopen the traffic. These moments, where neighbors rushed to help drivers stranded in the snow, served as a source of morale for the city, even in its toughest times. The storm and accumulated heavy snowfall severely tested not only the roads, but also the resilience of structures in the region. In the village of Brozha in the Bobruisk district, the metal frame of a greenhouse located in a forest nursery collapsed under the immense pressure of the snow and wind. The fact that no one was in the greenhouse at the time of the incident was a stroke of luck that prevented potential loss of life. However, work began immediately to assess the material damage. Experts took this opportunity to make an important reminder. In such extreme weather events, lightweight structures with large open spaces are at the greatest risk. In response to this severe winter situation across Belarus, the State Traffic Safety Inspectorate took action and activated a special action plan called Weather Conditions. Under this plan, traffic police are now working much longer hours. Additional teams have been assigned, especially at critical intersections and on main routes. Authorities are also issuing clear warnings to drivers. Vehicles should not be parked on the roadside to avoid hindering snow removal efforts. Public transportation should be used whenever possible, and long journeys should be avoided unless absolutely necessary. Weather officials announced that the region was under the influence of a southern cyclone that settled over eastern Belarus on Friday, and that atmospheric pressure had begun to rise slowly. Although snowfall is expected to slow down at times, warnings remain at the highest level, particularly for heavy snow and icing risks expected during Saturday night hours. Snow removal teams, infrastructure workers, and emergency units, who are on site throughout the day to prevent city transportation from coming to a complete standstill, continue to work tirelessly despite the freezing conditions. Workers to trade unions, from healthcare workers to energy sector employees, took to the field in full coordination. The snow removal effort is no longer limited to main roads. It has spread to every point, from hospital gardens to school surroundings, from bus stops to the fronts of social institutions. Meteorological data reveals that the Ulli storm is not only a severe weather event for Belarus, but also a historic threshold. When experts compare the current Ulli storm with the famous Javier storm of 2013, which is still fresh in people's memories, in terms of snow depth, the seriousness of the situation becomes much clearer. Snow accumulation, which was measured at a maximum of 32 centimeters at that time, seems to have surpassed previous records this time, reaching 34 centimeters in some areas. Friday, wind speeds reaching 24 meters per second in some areas at night also highlighted the severity of the storm. Officials are particularly highlighting how intense and harsh this winter season has been so far. The figures confirm this picture. Since the beginning of the year, a total of 11,300 cubic meters of snow has been processed at snow melting facilities in Minsk alone. According to experts, if we continue at this rate, it is highly likely that we will see a new record by the end of the season. We extend our sympathies to all the people of Belarus affected by the winter conditions. If you would like to follow such natural events without sensationalism, based entirely on real data and information from the field, you can support us by subscribing to our channel. We will continue to convey events to you in their proper context and with impartial reporting with every new development.